Hello and welcome to Sketch Together. My name is Pablo Stanley, and today we're going to be creating a prototype inside Sketch using Invision's Craft plugin. Invision just released an update to their Craft plugin where they included Prototype. With Prototype, you can create a link with any layer or group that connects that layer or group with another screen. And then you can add a gesture to it and add a transition. So today we're going to create a project, and I have some files ready. You can download those files. I share a link to that if you want to practice too. And also at the end, we're going to preview our prototype on the web. And that's it. Let's do it. In case you haven't installed the plugin by Invision, just go to envisionapp.com/craft, and then you will find here a big button that says download the plugins. You can also see all the benefits of this plugin, all the different parts. There are many cool videos that show you all the different parts of this plugin, because this plugin is actually like a mega plugin that has multiple mini plugins, and one of them is the new one, which is for prototyping. So you download it. You go through the usual steps of downloading, installing, and all that stuff. Once it's installed, you will see an icon on the top nav icon bar. And here it's the Craft Manager. The Craft Manager actually installs the plugin. So you will here see that you can install it for Sketch and Photoshop. So for Photoshop, I haven't installed it. I don't use it. But here in Sketch, you will probably see something that says install. So once you have it installed, you can turn on and off the data, duplicate, freehand, library, and sync, which are the different things, different plugins that this master plugin has. So this is a good way to keep updated your plugin. Just always go back to the Craft Manager and update your plugin to the latest version of it. Once you have the Craft plugin installed, you will see it here in the menu as Craft. You will see all the different options, and you can toggle the panel on and off. You will see the panel that is actually right here next to your inspector bar, and here you have all the different plugins, all the different parts of this plugin, which is duplicate, the data one, and library, and also syncing to your prototypes on Invision, on your Invision account. But the latest update included this little part here on the bottom, which is a prototype part, and it's like a lightning bolt. And once you have clicked on that, then you can start making prototypes, and you can add links to any layer or group to link to a certain screen. So this is just as a demo. Let me show you how a prototype usually will look. When you have a prototype, you will see all of these arrows where it's telling you the links that are being created and where that link takes you to which specific screen, and you can actually see what that specific link is doing, and you can change it. So all of that, and then you can preview it on the web. This is how it's going to look, but let's make our own. So I have a link for this file. This is a demo file. I'm going to close this. This is a demo file that you can use to follow along, and you can download it right here in the link. So as you can see, we have different parts of our prototype. We have a walkthrough, just takes you to the different steps of like the benefits of this app. This is a fake app, of course. And then we have the sign up process, just like when there's no information, when there is information, and then a success message. And then we have the actual app. Once you are inside, you have logged in or you have signed up, then we have, let me zoom in so we can see, we have one tab where is the feed, and then another tab that is like a list of recipes. This is a food app, by the way. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. And then we have a detailed page with a photo of the actual recipe. And then also we have a share sheet. We're going to learn how to actually create links to overlays. So we have everything ready. Let's start. Before we create a prototype, let's actually start by adding some images to this wireframe, and we're actually going to be using the Craft plugin for that. Something really cool about the Craft plugin is that they have something called data. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this, and over here on the data panel, I'm going to go to the Photos tab, and I'm going to create a new item, and this item I'm going to call it food. And this food is going to search for images from a local folder in my computer and just put them randomly inside a shape. So right now, by default, it says Unsplash, and this takes from the Unsplash library, but I want it to be a local folder because I already saved some files, some photos from the web, from different photos of food. So I'm going to go to select a folder. So I have a folder called food. In this one, I have a ton of different photos of food, and I'm going to say yes, select that folder, and then automatically will take photos randomly from this folder and put them in the container. So I'm going to save this action, and now I have these layers selected. I'm going to select these 3 layers, which is rectangles here in the background, and I'm just going to select food, and boom, magic happened. It just added photos from that folder randomly of the food, which is pretty cool. It's pretty, it makes my workflow really fast whenever I want to go from a wireframe mode into a high fidelity mode on my prototypes. So I'm going to go over here and do the same. As you can see, I didn't add images here. So I'm going to go and select this, this, and this, and I'm going to go ahead and put the same one. And then I'm going to do the same, but with titles. So these titles, instead of just saying title, it's kind of boring. I'm going to go here inside the data one. I'm going to go to type, and then here in headlines, I'm going to select cooking. That will take different headlines about cooking from the web, and it will just fill it up for me. And it's pretty handy. Again, I'm going to actually just, there you go. I just want it to be one line. It comes pretty handy. I don't have to search for headlines on the web, or I don't have to type my own. It's just a good way to have data in your prototype that looks a little bit more realistic. So I have this ready. I'm probably going to do the same here, but before that, I want to show you another pretty cool part of this plugin, which is called duplicate. So here I want a list of recipes here. So I want to go, and the first one, I'm going to fill it up. The same with my photos, again with the food one. And then here on recipe, I'm going to go to type, and then I'm going to go to headlines, and I'm going to select cooking again. And then the author, I want it to be a name. So I'm going to go to type, and then here are names. I'm going to select male, female, both. I'm going to select both for this one. And it just fills up a name from me from random text. So I have this ready. I have this cell, and now I want to duplicate it in a grid. So I'm going to go here on the duplicate, here on the duplicate panel, and I'm going to say vertical. And how many of these? I want to say, let's say 9. 9 of them vertically aligned. And I'm going to say you can also add a gutter between these elements, but for now I'm just going to keep it at 0. I'm going to duplicate the content, and voila! Magic happens. It just added, it created a grid for me with the information, with data, following the same rules that I applied on the first cell, which was select a random image from my food library, and also select a title from the cooking headlines, and then also add a name. And now what I want to do is have a detailed page of this one. This one should be a detailed page of this. So probably this, oh, look. These two already have the same image. So I can just, these two be the same, that is actually going to call this. So I'm just going to copy the style of this, copy the style, and I'm going to paste the style. There you go. And I'm going to add a fill, a gradient fill on top of this. This gradient fill is just going to go from black to black 0%. That way I can see these icons on the top. I'm just going to move it all the way here. That way I have my photo, but I can still see these icons over here. So over here, I'm going to say that instead of 50%, it goes all the way to 60%. There you go. And now I can see my icons, and I'm ready. It's the same image as this. Probably I'm going to just copy this title too, Command Z, and then I'm going to put it over here. And now my design is ready. Now I can start adding links to the prototype. So let's go ahead and do the first one here on the walkthrough. So here on the walkthrough, I want to be able to tap or probably swipe, and that takes me to the next one. So I'm going to add an actual rectangle on top of all this. And this rectangle is going to be my hit area. So all of this is going to be my hit area. I could have done just a full photo, but right now Invision, if you put an action on top of another action, that will not work. So that way, my button will not work on top of this image being a full, adding a link on top of another link. So I'm going to add my own hit area. All of this is going to be my hit area. I'm going to obviously change the opacity of this element to 0%. I'm going to call it hit area. I'm going to put it on top of everything here on my artboard. It's already all the way to the top. And then here, I'm going to press C for craft, I guess. And then the C brings this little arrow that asks me, where do you want this hit area to go to? So I can save it here or over here. So I'm going to go here. And then what kind of gesture do I want to use? And for this one, I want it to be swipe left. And then swipe left, and then after that, it asks me what kind of transition I want it to be. So I want it to be push left. So I'm going to swipe left, and then it pushes left to the next image. So I'm going to add the link. That's good. And then I'm going to copy this same hit area, and I'm just going to put it over here. But over here, instead of this link, right now it's linking to the same image, and I don't want that. So I want it to link to this one. It's going to be the same. So I'm going to say that it swipes left, and also it pushes left. Pushes left, and I'm going to add the link. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to paste, and I'm going to say C, and then this one should take me back to the first one when I swipe left, and it pushes left as a transition. There you go. So there you go. Now, this should take me, swipe left, and then it should take me to the next image. So now I want to go to the login. So let's get started. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to shift all of these layers, all of these groups, these symbols actually. And then I'm going to press C, and then these should take me here. And then I'm going to say that the gesture is tap, and it should take, the transition should be push left. I'm going to add the link, and voila, there you go, boom. And now I'm going to say when I start tapping here on the keyboard, then it should take me over here. So I'm going to press C, it takes me here when I start tapping, and let's say that it dissolves. It just dissolves, so it will be a fading, fade out. And that's perfect. Now I want to say that when I tap on this, then I log in. So I'm going to press C, and then this one will take me here, and it should be, let's say that it's pop. That's going to be the transition, pop. It's going to be fun. And then this one here, there's no time transition. There's no way for me to say, hey, from here, I want to be automatically after 2 seconds go to this one. That's something that Invision hasn't added on the prototype tool. But let's do it where when I tap here, it takes me here. When I tap here, and let's say that it slides left. It slides left, and I'm going to add the link. There you go. So now I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say that when I tap on this guy, press C, I want to go over here. Easy. And I want it to be dissolve. There you go. I'm going to do the same over here. This one should take me back over here. Tap, and the transition should be dissolve. I add the link, and there you go. Now I added a link that takes me here, and another link from here that takes me here. And now I'm just going to add another one from this cell. Let's zoom in so we can see what's going on. From this cell, I'm going to press C. That takes me to this one. And then probably the transition should be that it slides up. It slides up when I tap. Perfect. And also this one, I want it to be this element, this card. I want it to be, I press C, and I want it to take me to the same one. Also sliding up. Obviously, this is whatever you think is better. Just for this example, I'm using these transitions. Probably you will disagree on the kind of the transition they're using. But the cool thing about this is that it's a prototype that you can test and then later iterate and say, you know what? No, that didn't feel right. I want to go back and do something different. That's the cool thing about this. So I'm going to add the link. And now, once I'm here, I'm going to do something different. I want to add a backlink. So this image, the X, I want to press C. And I want to, instead of a specific screen, I want it to go over here, link back close. That way it will take me back to whatever screen took me to this specific screen. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to say that the transition slides down. Slides down, perfect. And now I'm going to add another one to this, but this one is going to be not a link screen, but it's going to be instead of here in the dropdown, instead of linking to a screen, I'm going to say that link as overlay. Once it links as an overlay, it asks me where the position of this element should appear. By default, it says center, but since this one is just a chair sheet, I want it to actually be from the bottom center. So it comes from the bottom. And then I'm going to say that it actually slides in bottom. So it slides from the bottom. And then it asks me if I want to add a transparency to it. I'm going to keep it at 0. I'm just going to keep the default on this. So I'm going to add the link. And then it asks me if I want to reverse the transition. I think that's good. So I'm going to add the link. And I think we're ready. When you're ready to test your prototype, when you're ready to put it on the web, all you have to do is sync it to a project that you already have or sync it to a new project. So to do that, here on the Craft plugin, there's this little guy that says sync. And here in sync, you can select a specific prototype that you already have or create a new one. So I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to select that it syncs all the artboards on my project. So it's say here, or you can also select a specific artboard that you want to sync. But for this example, I'm going to select all the artboards and I'm going to create a new prototype. So create a prototype and I'm going to call it food sketch together. That's going to be the name. I don't know what you want to call it. And then here, instead of desktop, I want it to be an iPhone. But that's a cool thing. You can create desktop prototypes right here too. But this one is just an iPhone. I create my prototype and boom, I just created the prototype. And now that I created the prototype, I can start syncing my screens to Invision. So I'm going to sync all my artboards, sync it to Invision, and then it's just preparing all the things. And then look, it does a little sound when it's ready. And boom, now once it's ready, it will tell you here that everything was uploaded. Now I'm ready to start playing with my prototype. So you can just go to Invision and open your prototype, open your project from there, or you can just click here on the sync button. And then here on the bottom, you're going to see two buttons, one that says open and one that is a play button. The open one will just open directly the project and you can make some edits, or you can just press the play button and then it will open it in the browser so you can start playing. So I'm pressing the play button and there you go. Now I have the prototype right here and I can start playing with it. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe. There you go. It goes through all these images. And now I'm going to say, let's get started. Everything's looking good. I start typing. Let's get cooking. It pops. Now I press here and it takes me to the actual app. I can go through the tabs. It just creates a dissolve as we were planning to do. And then I'm going to tap on this. It should open this one. And then here it should take me back to the previous screen. See, open this, it takes me back. I open it, and then this should open from below the share button. Okay, so here, probably I should add a little bit of transparency, but you get the idea of what's going on. So I press outside and it closes. Look at that. How easy was that? I just created directly on Sketch using the Craft Invision plugin. I just added images. I added content, I added data, I created a grid, and not only that, but I also added a prototype. I created a prototype right there in Sketch and I'm able to test it. And if I need to make an update, I can update it and then just test it again right here. It's awesome. So that's it. We just created a prototype using the Craft plugin, and we also added photos with the data part of the plugin, and we also created a grid with the duplicate part of the plugin, and we synced it to our project on our Invision account with the sync plugin. Something that will be nice to have on the prototype part will be to add time links to the artboards so that you don't require a gesture to go to a different screen. You just, after 1 second or 2 seconds, it goes to the next one. Something else will be to add transparent hit areas. So already on Invision, you can add transparent hit areas. Just like say all of this big thing is going to be a button. So it would be good to add something similar to that on the Sketch plugin. Also, just being able to say what is a fixed header and what is a fixed footer will be great. And templates. One of the great things about using Invision is being able to just create some of the links once, for example, a tabbed navigation, and then just duplicate those links across your prototype because they are just being reused over and over again. So something to do templates will be great. And all these things, you can kind of hack it inside right now on the Sketch plugin, or you can just go to your project on the web and just do it there. So the prototype plugin, it's a great way to get started and then probably fine tune it on the web. So yeah, amazing work by the Invision team. I love this plugin. I'm going to keep working on it. I look forward to all the updates that they're going to be releasing. And what do you think? Do you think you'll be using this plugin? Have you been using it? Do you have any prototypes that you want to share? Leave anything on the comments. And also, we have a Facebook group and we have design challenges and we share our work and we ask philosophical questions. You should join our Facebook group. I'm adding a link also to the description. And that's it. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Bye-bye.